And so what inspires me to do what I do every single day is just leaving an impact across the world. I hear so many times from a lot of people, mentors and successful people, like, one of the main goals in life is, leaving a legacy behind. When you die and go to your grave, not having any regrets, not getting older and saying, I wish I could have. So really, I'm on that phase of my life where I'm going, 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours of sleep at the most, and trying to accomplish the most I can, cramming in my schedule every single day, handling my passions, my career, my family, my friends, and just squeezing it all in back to back.
At what point did you decide, I want to start to put this value out for people to start to learn, you teach mindset, you teach sales, all the important stuff people need to be learning?
Yeah, so I used to run a distribution company for about 10 years, which started off from an idea, and we blew it up across the nation into a nationwide company and a brand. And through that journey, I was teaching sales because we used to sell, obviously, to businesses. So I used to teach my people sales, and I used to build leaders in that company. And then after that, I sold the company, and I went to one of the largest financial institutions, and I became a great salesperson there, and I became a great sales leader there. And after a while, I got known for helping people that were not doing very well in their careers, maybe on their last leg, maybe about to quit, about to get fired, just not hitting the numbers they needed to be hitting in their careers. And they would start sending those people to me, and then I would train them and I would help them not only not get fired or quit, but get promoted and turn into leaders and just change so many people's lives. So when I used to ask them, what's the biggest difference between me and every leader you had? They used to tell me that, we just clung on to the way that you taught it. You simplified it for me. You made it understandable and digestible. And I finally understood it when you taught it to me. So I realized I have a talent for breaking things down in a simplistic form for everybody to understand and helping you make it easy to accomplish, because a lot of folks have so many things that they could do to be great, but it's hard to do so many things. So they just leave everything and they keep doing what they're doing. So what I try to do is make it easy for you to do. Once it's easy for you to do, you can make it a habit. Once it's a habit, you take the thought process out of it. Once the thought process is out of it, you're just doing it every single day now, and it's part of you.
Creating that automated process for yourself.
Exactly, the automation, yes.
You think automation is something people are missing, Acez? Some sort of automation process, like what you just said, and implementing it, making it doable and simple.
Yeah, at least the most important things in your life need to be automated, right? Like if one of the most important things to me is working out, I want to automate working out. How do I automate working out? Well, as soon as I get out of bed, right after I brush my teeth, I'm not checking my emails, I'm not looking at my phone, I'm not doing anything. The first thing I do is walk right into my garage to work out. I'm not even allowed to look at my phone until after I work out. That's me making sure I work out every single morning as soon as I wake up, without doing anything to distract me. And then after 2, 3, 4 weeks, now I just work out every single morning when I wake up. I don't think about it anymore. I don't get distracted. I don't fall into emails. I don't, catch myself running late. It just happens every single day in the morning. If I want to eat clean, why am I going to think about today? What am I going to eat for breakfast? What am I going to eat for lunch? What am I going to eat for dinner? Because every time you have to think, your willpower goes down. You're taken away from that battery you have in the morning. And, you wake up with 100% battery on your willpower. The more decisions you have to make, the lower your willpower goes. For example, Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs, they wore the same exact thing every single day. Not because they didn't have money to buy other clothes and outfits. I'm sure they have money to buy malls of clothes. It's because they wanted to take the thought process out of it, and they thought their time is more valuable spent doing something else and thinking, what am I going to wear today? So it's the same kind of concept. I don't want to think about what I want to eat. I want to meal prep on Sunday, Monday through Friday, and have my meals ready to go for the day. I don't got to think about what I have to eat. I don't have to order food. I don't have to cook food. It's already there. It's already done. It's automated now. My meals for the week are completely off my mind. And the more things you could automate like that, and especially if they're good habits like eating clean and working out and maybe reading a book, more of those things that you could automate in your life, they just become habits. Like, People don't understand after 3, 6 months, 9 months of that, I mean, you're a different human being, you know? The issue is people have a hard time building consistency. I want to work out, I want to eat clean, but there's no plan to do it. There's no automation. So by day 3 or 4, they get a phone call, they get into a fight with their boyfriend or girlfriend, and then they don't work out that day. The next day they're at McDonald's, and it just dominoes into a spiral negativity effect. So yeah, I think the more things you could automate, especially good things in your life, are important. Now, not all things should be automated, right? I don't want to automate. I know people that do this. I don't, but I don't want to automate getting flowers for my wife or having it, maybe I'll automate a date night with my wife. Doesn't mean that I'm not trying to think about it. That just means that I want to make sure I spend time with my wife every week. So I tell her Friday night's our date night. I put it in my calendar. It's there every single Friday. And after a couple of weeks, it's now our ritual. Every Friday is our date night. And that's when I go spend quality time with her. So that's what I mean about automation, just canceling out the thought process of things to make them easier for you to accomplish.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even with like date nights, you want to keep them exciting. Always challenge yourself. It's always, once you automate yourself, you throw a little challenge in there. When you're working out, you want to get better. Once you get in that rhythm of doing it all the time, you try a little harder every time. You want to hit a PR every time. Even dating, right? Don't take your partner to the same bowling alley every week, right? If you go to the same bowling alley every Friday, that's where it gets boring. But if you're going to go to different places, there's always new things being learned. The more you learn, the more you earn, right? Man's wisdom is what keeps him going places, so.
Yeah. And that's something else we talk about as well in our leadership course. I talk about pattern interrupts, like you just said, or fun interrupts. If you go to the same boring dinner every Friday, then maybe you switch it up one night or one day and go, skydiving. Maybe you go take a walk in nature. Maybe you go to a bar instead of a restaurant. If you, spend the same exact time with your kids every single day inside the house, maybe you switch it up and go outside. If you start your work day the same every single day, maybe you switch it up, If you have that same background every time you're recording, maybe next time you try a different background, you know what I'm saying? So always trying to keep that flavor going and switch things up, because the more you try different things, not only does it keep it exciting, but you learn more. You don't learn a lot from the same consistent things over and over again. And if you're leading people, especially, they get sick of you saying the same thing, starting the meeting the same way, saying the same exact things for them to do, motivating them the same way. So we talk a little bit about that in our Leadership Academy, about how to switch things up and build pattern interrupts, so that way when your people come, they don't know what to expect, and that keeps it exciting.
Is that what? Let me ask you this, Acez. What does a perfect client look like for you? Is it somebody who really needs a lot of coaching? They're not doing great in business? Is it somebody that's doing good, that wants to keep doing even better, take it to the next level? Is it both? Can you take anything and say, we're going to just take you to the next level? What are you looking for?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And I believe when looking for the perfect client, I'd say the perfect human, the perfect individual, is somebody who's always willing to learn and grow. I didn't check out your Instagram page. I didn't research your YouTube. I didn't say, who wants to do a podcast with me? I said, I have a nice gentleman that runs a good podcast, and I want to get to know you, and I want to learn from you, and you can learn from me, and I could build this relationship with you and keep expanding my horizon. So I think the perfect client is somebody who seeks self-development. And I think anyone who has a successful mentality should always seek self-development. You never stop learning. Right. So we have different forms. When you start the course, if you're in the sales course, we ask you, are you a beginner? Here's the beginner lessons. Are you an expert? Here's the expert lessons. But yeah, I think the course is for anybody trying to improve their craft. Even if it's a review and you're the best salesperson in the world, or you have the strongest mindset in the world that you believe, you can still go to the mindset course and get a refresher on everything and learn a couple different angles to look at things. Because everybody has their own perspective. I'm working with Brad Lee. He does a podcast as well. And I'm meeting with him in Vegas next month. And I told him, is it my sales course kind of competition for your sales course? Because he's helping me out with this thing, and I'm building the platform on his website. So shout out to Brad Lee if you're listening out there. But he told me every single sales course is something that he'd suggest. There is no one sales course is better than the next. You take all sales courses in life, and you keep learning in life. So it's not mine is better than yours or it's a competition. You learn from everything and everyone. And that's the mentality that I like to go with. Our mission statement at Acez Academy is become the best version of yourself and then raise that version daily. So we didn't say become the best version of yourself, period, because that would be ignorance. Because you can't become the best version of yourself and then say, I hit my peak and stop. So we say become the best version of yourself, and then you raise that version daily. Every single day you want to raise it. You want to go to sleep and wake up a better person than you were yesterday. And that's always the goal, is to keep raising the bar throughout life. It's a sickness, sometimes it's a sickness, man. Sometimes I crash, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, I was feeling like I was crashing, like feeling a little under the weather, not sleeping well, doing so many things. It catches up to you sometimes, right? But you learn after a while to become accustomed with an uncomfortable lifestyle and always being on the run and always raising the bar. And then, of course, there's ways that you could rejuvenate and refresh yourself. Like I'm going to Florida next week for Thanksgiving, where I'm not going to stop working, but it's going to be a nice break, a nice different scenery for me to kind of refresh and come back rejuvenated.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, it's really interesting to hear that even a guy like you running the enterprise that you're running, you go through these trials and tribulations, this stress, this time of not sleeping, right? People are always looking for a reason to blame the game, blame the world for why the situation is not so perfect, right? I met a guy the other day, he said, I started to look at everything just as part of the process, right? Whatever happens, if it happens, it happens. You get a flat tire, you get a computer, you get a guy who cancels, all that stuff. If you're in sales, I've done door to door. Today I'm in financial services. I gotta meet a lot of people that are gonna say no before they say yes, right? And I love that game. I love the fact that you gotta really work for what you get.
Yeah. No, and I love that. And I always talk about enjoying the process, because that's where the journey lies. It's not about the destination. It's about everything that happens throughout the process to that destination. And when you remember your best memories, it's not one like, I made my first $10,000 check. That was my best memory ever. It's, the stuff you bought your family with that check. It's the laughs you had on the vacation with that check. Those are the things that you enjoy and remember. So it's not about the destination. There'll always be another destination. Same thing like you're raising the best version of yourself. Every time you hit a destination, you're going to raise and go for another destination. So if you're only focused on the destination, that's going to lead to an unhappy life. Once you start focusing on the journey, this right here, this is where the memories lie, and the happiness and the sadness and the laughs and the cries. This is where it's all at. This is what you focus on. And in the mindset course specifically, we talk about how to prime your mind to be ready for that. If you're in a sales role, we have you write down what's the worst things that could happen today in your job. What's the best things that could happen today in your job? If the worst things happen today, what are you going to do to counteract those things so they don't, throw you off your flow or get you in the negative zone? And just you sitting in the morning and writing that down, if you write down, I'm going to get hung up on 5 times, 10 times, that's the worst thing that could happen. Well, then when it happens, you already expected it and you already wrote it down. So you're not going to be as upset that it happened than you would have been if you didn't think about these things and write these things down. And then we talk about your purpose and your why and how do you keep them in front of you. Like I have this book of my son right here. I keep it in front of me. So anytime I'm feeling down, I look at that, I remember it. I have right here, this thing for time, reminding myself that, time is very valuable. Am I spending every minute wisely? So different hacks, we teach you how to put hacks in front of you at all times to just keep priming your mind and reminding yourself of that mission. So nothing can throw you off of that mission.
Keep your eyes on the prize.
Yeah, it's easy to say, it's harder to do. So we're not machines at the end of the day. So how do you keep reminding yourself and make it easy to keep your eye on the prize? Well, I keep it easy by writing it down every morning and writing down what I'm grateful for and writing down my goals and putting them on the board behind me and then meditating and thinking about them at night and then having pictures and things, objects around me that keep reminding me of them. So now, again, the thought process is out of it. I'm just primed. Everywhere I look, everything I do, it's on my mind because I'm forcing it that way. So how do you force the positive, consistent actions into your life to make yourself a better individual is a question. And those are the kind of things I try to preach and teach through my social platform.
Very inspiring. Very inspiring. How can people find the Academy working with you? People want to build themselves up and work with you. How do people find you?
Yeah, it's acezacademy.com, Aces with a Z. And then if you go to the Instagram, it's the Acez Academy, and I have a link tree there with all my links there for the different kind of things we offer. And I mean, even if like I've told people before, like if you don't have money for the course, DM me and I'll give you a coupon to take it for free. Like I'm not in on this just for the money. I'm in on this for the inspiration and the influence across the world, you know. And I want to impact the world and help people. And if somebody could call me and say that some of my content helped them in their life, that's more than any money they'll ever give me.
So you're doing this to help people. You want to see people succeed.
Yeah, I want to give people the tools necessary to be successful. And then it's on them at the end of the day. Are you going to use the tools? Are you going to take it serious? Are you going to execute? Are you going to keep going down the path you're going on? And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I know people in my life that I'm close with that are happy with, you know, their lifestyle. Whether that's average, whether that's consistent, whether that's just paying the bills, that's what makes them happy. They want to get off work and they want to play Xbox or they want to play Call of Duty and they want to hang out and they want to, you know, do their thing, smoke marijuana, you know, whatever it is that they're doing. If that's what makes them happy, then I have nothing against that. You know, it's just about you and your journey and what you want out of your life. But for me, I'm trying to reach out to the people that want self-development, that want to reach their best version of themselves, that want to hit their peak success, and that want to keep growing in life.
A lot of life is in success is in line with what you choose not to do, right? All that stuff that you got to just figure out what you got to take out, start doing a lot more of. You know, we're not robots like you said, but once you can automate, like what you were saying, the important stuff. You know, somebody really inspirational that I follow, Jocko Willink. You know, everybody's heard what he said. Discipline equals freedom, right? Once you can discipline yourself, you get a lot way more freedom and jazz to play with, and in that treasure chest. And then when you do and you don't have any structure, you don't got any freedom. You know, you got the guys towing your car away. You got people calling your phone with the creditors. It's just not freedom. So you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah. How do you make the discipline easy? It's the next level to that, right? If you want to wake up in the morning and you hit snooze, then I say get a loud alarm clock, plug it in on the opposite side of the room, make your ass get out of bed, walk to the other end of the room, then hit the snooze. And then if you walk back to your bed, get back in the sheets, that's on you. You hacked yourself. You already got out of bed. You did the hard part. If you walk back to your bed, that's on you. But if you say, F it, I'm up, I just lost my sleep, I'm out of that deep sleepness, you know, and I had to get up, I'm cold, I go straight to the sink, put that cold water on and wash my face.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's throw that cold water into your schedule, people. That's a life changer right there, you know.
Yeah. I've been doing cold showers. Yeah, this whole year I've been doing cold showers. I used to reward myself on Sundays with a hot shower, and now I don't even like that. Like, I just got used to the cold showers and the way it makes me feel, and it's an obsession now.
Absolutely. Same here. I used to, you know, I started it off with just trying to jump in there, fresh cold, years ago. You know, I've been doing this for 10 years now, maybe. You know, first I couldn't even jump in there. You know, I'd jump right out, turn on a little warm. You know, now you just walk in there, you don't even want that other stuff. It's like coffee, you know. I used to drink it with cream. Now I just want the black stuff. Give it to me straight, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I love that.
Acez, you know, was there ever a time when you reached your lowest and you had to say, you know, I gotta change things up? You know, were you always a rock star like this? You know, were there times where you maybe you had it together, but what changed it for you? You know, what threw it over the edge for you?
It's a very good question. You know, growing up, I grew up with a harder lifestyle. You know, my parents are very hard workers, and out of high school, I was working at the gas station with my dad, leaving school early to help him out there. Liquor store, McDonald's, Subways, ice cream trucks. I mean, everything you could think of, and just helping out my family however I could. So just growing up like that, number one. 10 years of doing that, missing the parties, missing the vacations because I was just working, helping out the family. That's something that sticks with me deep inside, which I'm grateful for because it made me the man I am today. But so one thing is, I never want to go back to that. Not saying that happiness lies within money, but I've had both lifestyles and I choose the one that I have now every single day. And so that's one thing that keeps me going. But I have been at low points in my life. You know, I used to get in trouble when I was younger. I used to, you know, not be as motivated as I am today. But like I said, through all the hard work I did and through all the adversity I had, I see the people that are successful. I look up to some of those people, but at the end of the day, I look in the mirror and I say, they are no better than me, and they're no better than you, and they're no better than anybody out there listening. Everybody has the same tools to be successful, so it's a race to the top. And I've made the decision in my life maybe 7 years ago that I'm on that journey and I'm not getting off those tracks.
It all starts with the very
Yeah.
inspiring, Aces. Very inspiring. You know, people want to take themselves to the next level. You know, what do you see that's missing out there? We got a lot of Instagram sellers, right? We got people trying to sell stuff all day, you know. What are people doing wrong? Is it too much asking they're doing, not a lot of giving? Let's get some of that free advice that people would pay to get from you that they, you know, what are people doing wrong that, you know, people who are selling, everybody wants to sell.
Yeah. So I'd say finding the emotional connection is something that I think is one of the most valuable things in sales. So before I reach out to you and try to sell you anything, I want to know what emotional ties you have in your life. You know, I know Gary Vee talks about this sometimes. Like, if you reach out to him many times, he might not answer you. But if you send him a Jets jersey, he's a Jets fan, that might get him to send you a message back or post a picture, you know, of that because he'll appreciate that because it touches his heart in a different place. So I'll say find out what the people you're talking to are tied to emotionally and connect to that emotion instead of connecting to a sale. You know, it's not about the sale, it's not about the product, it's not about the service. It's about what the product does for that person after in their life. It's about what your service does for somebody's life after the fact. And that's what I focus on when I'm selling anything is what happens in your life after this phase goes through me, this sale goes through me. After you take my course, how does your life look after that? And that's what I try to focus on. That's where the freedom is and that's where the happiness lies. So I'd say one of the biggest things is tying to somebody's emotion. The second biggest thing is just knowledge is power, and right now knowledge is free. Go look at the people that are selling the best out there, the top sellers on Amazon, top sellers on Instagram. Go look at their ads. How do they make their ads? What kind of subtitles do they use? What kind of ratios do they have? What kind of captions do they have? What kind of communities are they in? You know, study the top people in your field, figure out what they're doing, duplicate what you can from it, but, you know, always keep that personal touch. Don't lose your personality in the mix. You know, you could take what you like from a little bit of everything, but always have your own flavor in there as well, because that's important and that's what makes you unique. So you need to realize as well what makes you unique as a person and utilize that. So I'd say those are three nuggets right there. Leveraging emotion, looking at what people are doing that are at the top, and keeping that unique feature of being yourself. Because right now, I know especially right now, just being real and authenticity is something that I've read and heard maybe over 50 times in the last 60 days. It keeps coming up as one of the biggest things of our generation, is just being authentic and true to yourself.
Authenticity is key. You know, you got a lot of fabrications these days. A lot of people are just sort of making stuff up, and then you, even with the Instagrams, they might have a business. You check out the business. There's no business. You know, at least put the business together. No overnight successes. You know, we got a lot of overnight successes. You know, you could be a success, but maybe you just, you know, it's like they always say, right? I'm an overnight success. I've been one for the last 20 years, right? You know, you work for something, and suddenly you're an overnight success. It's every day you don't want to get up. It's those days where you say, I really don't want to today, but you end up doing it anyways. That's how Muhammad Ali became the greatest boxer on earth.
Yeah, I always say overnight success is just an overnight success. That's all it is. It's not called a lifetime success, it's called the overnight success. So you might have success for a day, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but if you don't keep the actions and the consistency going and keep building, that success will vanish before your eyes.
Aces, how important is money for a man? For a woman, how important is money in success, in business, and in life?
I mean, look, I always say cash is trash. You know, I try not to hold any cash. I try not to save any cash. I try to make investments. I think you got to focus on wealth. You know, you find wealth in your health. You find wealth in your family. You find wealth in your happiness. You find wealth in your friends. You find wealth in your passions. And if you find wealth in having money in the bank, then that's your wealth. I find wealth in having, you know, passive income, being able to do what I want, when I want, travel the world, take care of my family, and take care of my health, my passions. That's what wealth means to me. It's not a liquid number, you know, to me. So I think money is important because of the stuff it allows you to do. I think money is important because of the stress it relieves from your shoulders or from your head. I don't think it's the end all be all. I think if you utilize your tools properly and you have good value in yourself, the money will follow you. You don't really have to worry about the money. You just work on yourself and everything else follows. We have an ism in the company that I work for, and it's called, numbers and money follow, they do not lead. You know, Meaning you never lead with money, you never lead with numbers. You lead with character, you lead with your inspiration, with your motivation, with your goals, with your habits, and then everything else follows that. So anyone out there looking for a job, you shouldn't be looking for a job. There should be a job looking for you. And what's that job that's looking for you is the way you have to look at it. And what are you doing to make the job want you? If you were a stock, sometimes I say that if you look at yourself like a stock and every single day you write down your shareholder price, right? What's your price per share? And if your price per share yesterday was $100 for your stock, what is it today? Is it 90? Is it 110? Is it still 100? Well, that depends. Did you get more fit after yesterday? Do you have more money in the bank after yesterday? Did you get better after yesterday? So if you look at yourself like a stock, is your stock going up on an incline? Are you staying stagnant and not changing at all? Or are you declining? Are you gaining weight? Are you losing money? Are you not making your bills on time? Are you not learning anything? And if you look at yourself like a stock and just put it on a board in front of you every single day, just really truly ask yourself and be true. Are you getting better or worse?
It requires that honesty if you want to move forward in life. You got to be honest with yourself. You can't just beat around the bush.
Yeah, no, take the feedback, man. Take the feedback, have tough skin, take it and keep moving.
You got to keep it moving. Keep it moving, people. Keep it moving. Build yourselves. Build that stock up. Make yourself irreplaceable. Can we get that quote one more time? Don't be looking for a job.
Yeah, never be looking for a job. The job should be looking for you.
Very nice.
And what are you doing to make the jobs want you, right? If there's no job looking for you, then that's when you look in the mirror and say, what am I really doing to being somebody that's attractive to companies to hire? Somebody that's attractive to work for, somebody that's attractive to build my own company, to bring in as a partner, You got to do some self-reflection.
Very nice, Acez. Very nice. How long have you had your business for now?
So I've had many businesses. This academy, I've had it for about a year now. It's fairly new. I was working on perfecting it, and I'm still perfecting it till today. Like I said, I'm meeting with Brad Lee next month, and he's going to revamp the whole website, make it a lot more interactive for our users. But it's fairly new. I'd say 2021 was the launch.
I like that you were saying, whenever you're working with somebody who does something similar to you, you gotta just be able to have the communication skills, the EQ to just be like, hey man, we can go one of two ways, but it's much better to just be like, we're both out here, we're both trying to do the same thing. Same with financial services, all the other agents, everybody's selling, everybody's making money, and they encourage not to compete, and it's better that way when you have a team that you can share the value, share the wealth, share the wisdom. It's all relative. It all sticks with the people. You lay with dogs, you wake up with fleas. You hang out with other people who are making money, you're gonna get stuff. You're not really taking anything from anybody. You're gonna get some bits.
Yeah, never burn a bridge.
Never burn a bridge. Never burn a bridge. Acez, what's an important thing that you can't go without every day? Is it a quote you live by? Is it reading? Is it the working out? What is something that somebody should implement that maybe helps you a lot in life?
Yeah, one of the first things that come to mind is the miracle morning. I learned it from Tony Robbins. He calls it the power hour, or the hour of power. And it's different for everybody, but I say if you had to make yourself a superhuman for the day, what's 1 to 3 or 4 things you could do in the morning? If you start your day at 8, let's say you woke up at 6:30 a.m., what's 1 to 3, 4 things you could do in that morning that before 8 o'clock you'd make yourself feel like the super you version of yourself? And for me, it's like working out, the cold shower, reading a little, gratitude, goals, and then I'm ready for the day. But for somebody else, it could be walking your dog. It could be reading the news. It could be speaking to a loved one. It could be meditating. It could even be playing with your phone for an hour. It makes you feel good. Whatever it is, there's no judgment here. But find whatever it is that could give you a jump start in the morning and execute on that every single day. And you'll see the difference between the two individuals when you do those things and when you don't do those things. And I guarantee you, you'll continue to do those things because you want to start fresh and you want to be that super version of yourself every single day.
Very inspiring, Acez. Constant growing company. You've been at it for a long time, but it's still growing. What else you doing, Acez? What else are you participating in? What else are you in? I know you got your feet in a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a President's Club banker also at Rocket Mortgage. I was a senior leader there, and I'm doing banking now. And we're actually hiring, so if anybody needs a job, up to potential six figures, benefits, 401k, time off, the whole 9 yards, and you could even work from home remotely, just send me your resume and an email. I'd love to get you in. You just have to have a clean record and decent credit, and we'll get you in the financial industry right away. They could DM me or email me, whatever they wish. So I'm doing that as my career. I'm doing my passion is building up businesses where I go to businesses and help consult with them and run sales camps and leadership camps, mindset camps. And then you could also sign up for the course online and just take it for, it's like an hour and a half long, but it comes with a lot of templates and add-ons and things you could use in your life. And those are really the two things I'm focused on right now. Other than that, it's family, it's experience, it's learning, it's growing, and it's health, You don't want to spread yourself too thin.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Acez Academy, it's been a great show. You guys know where to follow him. We're going to provide his information. You guys can follow him, check out all his information. You guys, this guy's the real deal. You know where to find him.